So I just want to show you a breakdown of of basically how it played out from the beginning. So it was basically a falling wedge trade I was in, but then all of a sudden a descending broadening wedge took place. So basically, this is what a descending broadening wedge looks like. It starts off as a falling wedge, right? And then at this point here, for some odd reason, price spikes up. And I've talked a bit about how fundamentals and technicals are similar in the sense that you can't just ignore fundamentals and think that you can just trade technicals. It's possible, but you'll do better if you understand both fundamentals and technicals. So this was also a time when the US dollar had been falling for like nearly 6, 7 weeks. And then all of a sudden, there was a huge recovery. And so a descending broadening wedge is basically that you'll see a huge fall and then all of a sudden fundamentals create a huge recovery. So essentially you start off with your strategy, right? So how you break down a trade is you start off with your strategy, which is, for example, a certain pattern like this, descending broadening wedge, some fundamental which will basically push the trade. So let me show you where we started off. This was the complete one. Okay. So essentially, what happened was this was it. Like I showed you in the picture, you've seen your strategy, the fundamentals play out, and here was the entry. So a lot of the times, don't wait for the pattern to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect ever. But when you roughly have an idea of what's going on and you have other confluences that can support your decision, then that's fine, even if it doesn't play out as perfectly as the picture would show, because sometimes it doesn't. So, for example, on this picture, you can see we were touching the support area. And then if you were waiting for the support area to be touched, because that's what it looks like in a picture, you're going to miss out. And a lot of the time, they'll take advantage of people who actually are waiting for positions to line up perfectly. For example, there were people who were selling here thinking it was going to touch the resistance, the support. So all short sellers were immediately wiped out. So as you can see, unless they had risk management, that is. So as you can see, other confluences would have been like, for example, this was a support area. There was also a buy divergence which formed. This was the buy divergence. If you saw the stochastics, this created a buy divergence, and that was the entry. Price pushed up, and then when it pulled back, I used the 8 moving average. And then that was the signal to enter again the second position. So these are all different positions, by the way, that have their own stop losses. And then as price is moving up, you also add your stop loss. I just removed the stop losses for the picture. So that's when I added another position, right? And then I did have another position here, right after this red candlestick. I did have another position, but I closed it, and then price moved up, and then I opened another position. Price moved down, and then it pulled back, and then that was another position, and then we took profit here. Um, Again, what I wanted to emphasize was that a lot of people start to panic when there's a pullback. A pullback is different to a downtrend. So, for example, you will find someone who will place the trade here and then it'll go in their direction. And then once it starts doing this, they start panicking and getting out of all their positions, whereas they don't take advantage of the complete move. And basically, it comes down to understanding that an uptrend does not move rapidly in one movement. It moves like a stair, like uh, a staircase where you'll go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down until we get to um, the target. So, like I said, these are all obviously zero point 0.5 position trades. My percentage risk is zero point 0.5. So that just means, for example, if you are trading in that, say you have $1,000 account, for every stop loss that you have in your positions, it should not exceed $10. So, for example, my broker XM, if you just move your mouse to your stop loss level, it will tell you basically how much you'll lose um, if your stop loss is hit. Calculate some of the spreads. I mean, calculate some of the swaps, and then you'll know basically how much you're risking. So if it's $1,000 account, you should not be risking more than $10 per trade. So these are all 0. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. It's not 1%, like the example of the 1,000 account I've given you. These are 0.5 positions. So this was the first, second, third, fourth. They're all different positions. Now, what you'll see a lot of traders do is they like to enter 7 different positions in one area here, but that's actually risking 7 times your normal position size. And if that trade goes against you, you'll lose 35, 45% of your account, which is why a lot of traders basically blow their accounts. It's not surprising. Um, I just wanted to show you lastly I lastly wanted to just show you the complete target once we hit the complete target, because as soon as we hit the target, price started to move back down again. So it's important to also understand where your target exits are. For example, this picture's very wrong. I wanted to talk about this one. This is a picture I got online. It says that the target is all the way up there. And if you waited, right, if you go open the chart on the US dollar MXN, you'll see that price did not hit there. It hit here and then immediately started to fall. So it's important that you get accurate information. Otherwise, you'll end up holding positions and losing, giving back money into the markets, which is what you shouldn't be doing. So once price hit this target here, like the first picture I showed you, price started to drop. So if you didn't start taking your profits there or hit your take profits there, and you used the wrong picture or you got some random picture, you would give back money. In fact, you'd give back money, and then it moved so rapidly, you probably would have been taken out all your positions within the next few days. So that's pretty much it. That's the entire breakdown of the entire trade. I hope that you gained a lot from it, and I'll keep doing a lot of these trades, a lot of these breakdowns. I enjoy doing them.